So,
Turn.
right. Okay.
It's on now. It's just ended.
That's up. You're live.
Right, this video is about a new directive from the Public Health Department. Apparently, Chief Health Officer. Well, Chief Health Officer Andrew Robertson, you are a moron. You have absolutely no lawful right to issue directives or anything else. I don't care what some donkey sitting in the parliament pretending to be a government says. The Constitution says they need to ask us. They need to ask us if they want to vaccinate us. This is not about stopping vaccinations. This is about forced vaccinations. You don't have that authority. So for the fact checkers, you better not get this wrong. Don't be ridiculous. This clown, this idiot, Public Health Act 2016 WA, Instrument of Authorisation. Authorisation to supply or administer a poison, SARS-CoV-2 COVID-19 vaccine, Australian Defence Force number 2, 2021. Why would you issue an order to administer poison to us? You are committing a serious crime. You have no authority. There is no emergency act that can be enacted by the parliaments of the state. You've never asked us, we've never given you. This is not about stopping COVID-19 or anything else. This is stopping the insane stupidity of a power-hungry idiot from making directives that he has no power to make. Now, number one on your document, it says, I, Dr. Andrew Robertson, Chief Health Officer WA, acting pursuant to Section 197 and 198 of the Public Health Act 2016 WA, the Act in brackets, that gives power for the purpose of emergency management during a public health state of emergency to authorise a person to supply or administer a poison. Hereby authorise the person, or S persons, occupying the class or position in column 1 of the attached schedule to perform the statutory functions in column 2 of the attached schedule, subject to the conditions, limitations or restrictions, if any, set out in column 3 of the attached schedule. The schedule is attached as Annexure A. The instrument of authorisation shall take effect from the 8th of March 2021 and shall remain in force until the public health state of emergency is no longer in force or until otherwise amended or revoked. This instrument of authorisation is additional to the instrument of authorisation to supply or administer a poison, SARS-CoV-2 COVID-19 vaccine number 1 2021. So you've issued another order dated the 5th day of March 2021, signed by Dr. Andrew Robertson, Chief Health Officer. Chief Health Officer, you are an absolute fool to think you can issue an order that administers a poison. A poison is dangerous to us. And if you do that, we have the right to get a bit of wood and belt you into oblivion. You understand that? Or put a bullet between your eyes, slit your throat, or do whatever it takes to take stupid fools like you, teach you you don't have the order to the authority to poison us. This is not a threat to your person unless you try it on me. Then you want to run, because you're not going to put that in me. It is my choice. I understand. Use recommend. You can recommend whatever you like. You cannot force the people to have anything. Our laws state that. The Commonwealth Criminal Code states to force an untested vaccine on anybody is a war crime. You go to war against us and see how many of you are left standing. Any police officer who fails to uphold his duty to protect the public is equally as guilty as this moron And that lunatic that calls itself a premier of this state, you have no power, no authority, no rights, and no permission of us to give us anything we don't want. We have to get bombarded day after day with your crap about how you think it's wonderful and you're protecting everybody else that's had it. Well, why don't you look at this? How are you going to get insurance on planes when the only ones that can ride on them have had the vaccine? It is a fact, and it's advertised on TV by the news media, that people are getting blood clots. One of the worst problems of riding on a plane in long distance is thrombosis. Blood clots. Can you understand that, Chief Health Officer? Can you understand that? So how are they going to get insurance to fly their planes if the only ones that can go on it are the highest risk? Come on, wake up yourself. It's time you woke up to yourselves. You people are totally out of control. You have no authority. You are a parliament. You're not. You're just a maggot with a overstep your mark. The health department is nothing. I learned yesterday that the fluoride and chlorine in the water supply is from you idiots. You've ordered the water corporation to put it in. They didn't do it off their own. You've ordered it. Whether you like it or not, sodium fluoride is a deadly poison. It's used in rat poisons. Why are you giving us that? You think you have the right to do that? This is going to come back and bite you. We've had a gut full of your lies. And as for all the trolls out there, I didn't lie once on Saturday. Everything I said is the truth. Look up the Constitution, or alternatively, you send or put out on Facebook the sections of the Constitution which prove I'm wrong, not your so-called superior courts, because there isn't any. There's only one court whose decisions form part of the common law. One, the High Court. And it isn't the so-called superior courts of Queensland. They're just crap from a satanic, unlawful, unconstitutional, treasonous parliament, and has been since 1924. Learn your Constitution, you'll understand that. Not that your brain is capable of doing it. So, back to Dr. Andrew Robertson. You are going to get your comeuppance by anybody who chooses to do so who gets injured from this virus. They can choose to do it. Why? Because our law says so. We have the right to defend ourselves against yous. When it becomes you and us, you've lost. You see, you're operating under Roman law, maritime law. Well, what about if we operate under Roman law and stone you like they did then, which would be a good thing if everybody got rocks and stoned morons like you. And you too, idiot that call yourself the Premier, you have no authority. It is required by our Constitution, the supreme law of this country, that you have an executive government which puts legislation together. There is nowhere in the Constitution where it says you can have a cupboard sitting there you call a cabinet full of idiots putting laws together. Nowhere. You are there to represent us. Represent us by getting rid of lunatics like Andrew Robinson. Doctor? Doctor of what? Murder? Butchery? Poisoning? Slavery? You're not going to win. What part don't you idiots understand? You are not going to win. You're not. Wake up. The people are. The people are going to stop you. You understand that? Have a nice day.